Well, look, we're here at VK's gym in Bognor Regis, where you're training out for this big title showdown on the 17th of September. But before we head into the fight, before we look at who you'll be fighting, what you'll be fighting for, let's have a little bit of a recap, because last time out we saw you in action in the Quest competition. A fantastic performance against Stuart Goodwin, a late call up, and you kind of ripped the script up and shocked everybody to get the win to set up this sort of this title shot. So, firstly, since that performance, how have you been?
I've been good, actually. From that performance, I weren't really looking at coming down any weight divisions or whatever, or even continue to box. From that last title fight I had and lost it. So I was just ticking over, seeing what come, and then I've offered this title shot. So, obviously back in the gym now. Best shape of my life.
Absolutely.
So 4 weeks out, mate, and I'm absolutely pumping for this. I'm ready to rumble.
I've got to say that, to recap, obviously, in March you fought down at middleweight against Luke Hawkins for the novice middleweight title.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, it was a fabulous fight. I know, talking to you after the fight, talking about the performance, you said that you just couldn't get going. You just couldn't find your sort of range, and it didn't really come together on that night for you, even though you saw the potential. And then fast forward to the Goodwin fight back in May, where Goodwin was originally scheduled to face Jake Dove-Lyons for the regional title, obviously the next title up. That fight fell through because of Dove-Lyons getting an injury. And then you were kind of faced with this opportunity to fight Goodwin, who had put on a little bit of weight, wasn't down at 11.6, and you got the call to say, well, would you fight him? It's out of your weight category completely, but would you take it? And you said,
I'm a fighting man, as it happened. Yeah, of course. So I'll tell you what, the Luke Hawkins fight, he's fantastic, isn't he? He's a great fighter, very strong. I did go in there with a little bit of a game plan, but early on I couldn't find my range, and I was sort of going back to the corner saying, look, I can't find my range on a guy. Yeah. And we're sticking to the game plan, standing on the back foot, hoping we could walk him on something big, but he's a strong guy, he's had a good camp. I had a good camp as well, admittedly, but yeah, he was just tough, mate, and the better man won on the night. With the Stuart Goodwin, I hadn't actually been training at all for that fight. I'd just been eating loads and whatever, living the life. And I took that fight with a couple of weeks' notice, and still really didn't get any training in beforehand. But yeah, on the night, because he was a bigger lad, and I don't really fight at that sort of weight, I sort of see a lot of his shots coming. Like, I just tried staying out of trouble, staying on the back foot. Didn't need to get into a tear out of him. He obviously hit hard. He's a big lad. But I weren't fit, so I didn't really let my shots go enough. I knew I'd nicked it. I knew I had. I knew I was winning the rounds just because he weren't landing no clean shots. Everything was off the gloves and whatever. But yeah, now I'm actually down at my proper weight. It's going to be exciting. I'm throwing far more shots than I would normally throw. I'm coming forwards. I feel stronger. My power is just increasing. It's so strange, because I would have thought by going up the weights I carry more power, but it's the opposite. The more weight I'm losing, snappier my shots are. I'm just becoming more powerful. So yeah, this is going to have a big factor in the fight, definitely.
We've spoken about the fact that, without being sort of, without being rude or disrespectful to you, you've never fought at your natural weight, as in where you should be fighting, which we've always said. I said, you at light middleweight would be a force, but for whatever reasons, you've obviously fought at middleweight, you fought close to super middleweight last time out, and I know sort of for this camp, the exciting thing is obviously you've got a fantastic opponent in Alfie Shrubb, tall, rangy, technical boxer, likes to throw the jab. Good movement as well from his sort of amateur side of things, but for the first time I think we're going to see the Luke Denyer where he should be, at 11 stone. Like you say, there's still a number of weeks to go to fight night, but you're looking in great shape, so you're obviously putting the work in. But talk us through a little bit about prep-wise for this? You mentioned a couple of bits there, like, you know, you feel like you're hitting harder, you're sharper, your work rate's better, but, you know, prep-wise, what have you been up to?
So I've got Dan Woodgate from Waste Point. He's doing all my meals and telling me what I need to be eating. He's my nutritionist, and he's fantastic. I've never made weight so easy with, like, in any camp. I've always struggled with my weight, as you know. So yeah, that's my diet side of things. Yeah, so training is twice a day. Yeah.
Hard work.
Hard work, yeah. I don't want to give too much away, eh, Alfie, eh?
No secrets, Alfie. No, but you're obviously, you can see you're putting the work in.
Yeah.
You can see that you're sort of how focused you are. Let's break down the opponent, because the man who will be in the opposite corner, he had his debut in the Quest competition, back also on the May show. His name's Alfie Shrubb, comes with a sort of an amateur pedigree. First fight back for a long time on the May show for Alfie, and he fought a really good fighter in Harry Camden. So what have you seen of Shrubb, and just generally, what are your thoughts on him?
Well, he's a fighter, so I've got respect for him. I don't really know too much about the guy. Yeah, he's had a few amateurs or whatever. I think he's more experienced than me. He's had a few more fights. But yeah, he's, like you say, he's a tall, long, rangy fighter. Yeah, we've got all the tricks to put on a good show come September. Yeah, I'm not going to write him off and say that, oh, no, I'm going to just smash this guy, because he's good. But yeah, you're going to see a different side of me come September. I'm going to definitely put on a career best performance. Yeah, and I'm taking that title.
How much would it mean? Because I know, like I say, I've spoken to you before. I know we spoke before the Hawkins fight, and we spoke after, and you said, you know, for me, I want to bring a belt back for my kids. You know, I want to show them a belt and show them that I've won a title. When you think about that, when you kind of visualise that, I mean, how much would it mean, you know, come September 17th, to walk out that ring with that belt?
So that was the hardest thing with the Hawkins fight, is walking out the ring and my kids standing there asking where this belt is. Do you know what I mean? I tell them I lost. So yeah, that's not happening again. Yeah, this is my main focus. I need to bring them something. These long camps I'm having, I'm never at home and not seeing them. They need to have something. So yeah, they've always asked me for a title, so it's going to mean the world for me to produce that to them. And yeah, September's my time. Not only that, is a fight is being dedicated to my partner's granddad, who sadly passed away. So we're going to be doing it for him as well.
So lots of more motivation than you've ever had.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, like I say, it is a really, really interesting fight for so many reasons. Obviously, the fact that you're now down at your natural weight, up against a sort of a quality operator in Alfie Shrubb. But I know, like you say, for the kids, for obviously your granddad, how much this means to you. So final words, final sort of thoughts as we, obviously before we switch off the cameras. I mean, what would, anything else you need to say?
Just, I'll see you September 17th.
Well, Luke, it's a great fight, and as I say, we know from your previous fights you're a character. We know how much you want this fight, and we are all looking forward to it. So it takes place on Saturday, September the 17th, at the famous Epsom Downs racecourse in Surrey. The show is titled Nowhere to Hide, and Luke Denyer will be fighting for the vacant Quest regional light middleweight title.